CQ the X, CQ the X, CQ the X. This is Havana calling. CQ the X, CQ the X, CQ the X. This is Radio Havana calling all shortwave listeners and radio amateurs. Welcome to... DXers Unlimited, Radio Havana's weekly feature dedicated to the fascinating world of radio communications.
Hola, amigos radio aficionados. Hi, my radio hobby friends all around the world. I'm your host, Arnie Coro, Radio Amateur CO2KK. Now enjoying much better weather after having to deal with torrential rains and floods caused by subtropical storm Alberto. Once again, Cuban amateur radio operators provided much-needed backup emergency communications to help during search and rescue operations, and also providing the Water Resources Agency and the National Weather Service with vital, up-to-date reports about rainfall and the behavior of the nation's 242 water reservoirs. Item 2, almost at the same level as 1 year ago, but slightly less in value. Solar flux levels are hovering around 70 to 75 units. The sun continues to show a very low number of sunspots for several days, and now 0 sunspots starting today. So I'm really happy to sit in front of the microphone and share several interesting radio-related news items with you. Here's item 1. More countries are now authorizing the use of the WARC 60 meters or 5 megahertz amateur band, a frequency assignment of great value when handling emergency communications at the tail end of the solar cycle. All the so far authorizations specify that the use of 60 meters, 5 megahertz for the radio amateur service is on a secondary basis. And yes, amigos, the 5 megahertz ham band is going to play an important role during these years of minimum solar activity we're going through, especially during emergency situations at night when the maximum usable frequency moves down below the 7 megahertz or 40 meters band and long skip settles there. High frequency HF band propagation conditions are not going to improve at all during the rest of the week. So we're ready to monitor for weak signals at night within the frequency range 2 to 8 megahertz after local sunset. More about medium wave band and short wave band propagation conditions at the end of the show. Now here is item 3 at the middle of the week edition of DXers Unlimited, your favorite radio hobby program, with yours truly, Arnie Coro, at the microphone. And following the request of several email messages received at info.rhc@enet.cu, that's the email address, more information about a really very original application that runs on practically any computer that can be connected to the internet. Makes possible to see the results of the so-called reverse beacon network. Reverse Beacon Network, I repeat it, that's the name of the application. An amazing achievement accomplished by volunteer amateur radio operators around the world from many countries. I won't attempt to describe here how the receiving stations that are known as, quote, skimmers, unquote, automatically pick up amateur CW Morse code radio telegraphy signals that are calling CQ, and then also by means of an automated computer subroutine measure the CW transmission speed and the signal-to-noise ratio at the receiving spot. If it sounds to you as science fiction, well, it is not. And the reverse beacon network is a reality. It's adding yet another tool to learn more about how the extremely complex phenomena that makes possible ionospheric shortwave propagation happens. Making CW CQ calls at speeds between 5 and 15 words per minute makes possible to be picked up by several automatic receiving stations known as skimmers and posted at the reverse beacon network site so they can tell you by just typing the call sign of any amateur radio station if it's being picked up or not. And you may want to visit the homepage of the reverse beacon network after calling CQ or CW from your own station if you are already an amateur radio license operator, and just learn, for example, what is happening when your friend Arnie Coro CO2KK calls CQ on the ham band. Just type the following URL on your internet browser, search line, http://www.reversebeacon, altogether, reversebeacon.net, net, /SRCH, that's Sierra Romeo Charlie Hotel, .php, Papa Hotel Papa. I repeat the internet browser line, the search line for the reverse beacon network, http://www.reversebeacon.net.srch.php. Okay, it's a little long, so I'll say it again soon. Then when the site opens and asks for whom you are looking for, type for example CO2KK, and you'll see the latest spots on each of the ham bands where I call CQ. Now please stay tuned for more Radio Havana related information coming to you from today's sunny, beautiful Havana, Cuba. What a beautiful blue sky here, where we're enjoying very nice weather here now. I'll be back in a few seconds after station ID. Sure, this is your favorite station, Radio Havana Cuba, coming to you via shortwave and also from the streaming audio at www.radiohc.cu, which we have improved recently. I'm Arnie Coro, and here's now item 4 of today's middle of the week program of DXers Unlimited. Here's now Ask Arnie, la número 1, the most popular section of the show, according to the emails you sent. Answering today a question sent by listeners from Canada. We have many listeners in Canada, by the way. The USA, we also have a lot of listeners in the States, Mexico, Barbados, Nigeria, South Africa, and the Netherlands. They all wanted to know what is the minimum size for an external antenna to be really effective and make possible to establish a communications link using the signals refracted from the ionosphere. Well, amigos, this is quite a challenging question that may lead to yet another controversy, because there are many opinions as regards to what is the least amount of radio frequency power that can be fed to an antenna in order to make possible for the transmitting signal to refract from the ionosphere and be picked up at a long distance from the transmitting station. Add to the complexity of the answer the fact that one must specify the frequency at which tests are done, because it's a fact. Ionospheric absorption of radio waves is different according to the frequency used. Lower frequencies are absorbed intensely. Just to give you a practical example that I always mention at the radio amateurs training program that we deliver twice every year for those who want to pass the ham radio license test here in Cuba. And by the way, we have 10,000 amateur radio operators here in Cuba at this moment. Here's again, at the request of several of the DXers Unlimited listeners, a comparative analysis which is not exact science, but seems to agree quite well with actual practical results. If you run a 1 kilowatt transmitter on the 3.5 to 4 megahertz amateur band, that is 80 meters, you will obtain more or less the same signal intensity at the end of the first hop, while running just about 200 watts or even less on the 14 megahertz or 20 meters band, a 5-to-1 ratio. And you can certainly drop your power to 50 watts if you operate on the 10 meters or 28.0 to 29.7 megahertz on the 10 meters band. That's quite a challenge. So now I'm pretty sure that many of you will realize why operating on the highest possible frequency amateur band is something I always recommend. Listen to this again. Pretty sure that many of you will realize by listening to this why operating on the highest possible frequency amateur band at any time that is open for the X, of course, is your best option. And higher frequency bands will provide results using rather small size antennas. Carrying the results still further, let me tell you that I have worked a DX station on the 50 MHz or 6 meter band while running just 50 milliwatts on CW. The actual power output of the 1 watt ray was passed through an attenuator that dropped the power down to 50 milliwatts. Of course, that this is a contact that happened under exceptional propagation conditions during a very intense sporadic layer opening. And they're happening now at this moment in North America and the Caribbean. Central America also, many sporadic openings happening. Amazing as it may sound, the signal reports both ways were between 449 to 579 as the two-way contact went on for about 15 minutes. 50 milliwatts, the other station was running a 100 watt rig. See, amigos, sure, yes, of course, from my practical experience involving a little more than 60 years playing with my radios, I can assure you that for the lower frequencies amateur band, 160, 80, 60, and 40 meters, the most compact antenna that will provide practical communications is the magnetic loop. In the particular case of the ever popular 40 meters band, which I enjoy very much, a circular magnetic loop with a diameter between 1.5 and 2 meters, when properly installed in the clear outside and far away from objects that will absorb radio frequency, will make possible to communicate with results that have proven to be very similar to what can be achieved with a full-size half-wave wire dipole. And of course, it can be installed in a lot less space. For the 160, 80, and 60 meter bands, circular, octagon, or square magnetic loops need to be much larger, of course, but they are still an attractive option because their footprint is much smaller than what is required to install the full-size half-wave dipoles, or even a compact wire antenna using loading coils to achieve resonance. The magnetic loops are small. For the higher frequency amateur bands, 20, 17, 15, 12, and 10 meters amateur bands, Smaller size magnetic loops show excellent performance and better bandwidth. For example, my 1 meter diameter circular loop antenna made using low-loss airspace Helix coaxial cable outside the braid, tuned with a homebrew butterfly airspace capacitor, the capacitor, works very well on 15, 12, and 10 meters, and still provides some usable results on 20 and 17 meters, although I must emphasize for 20 and 17 meters I would prefer to use a larger diameter magnetic loop with a diameter between 1.5 and 2 meters. And now, amigos, at the end of the program, something interesting. The most recent update of DXCC Most Wanted Entities. The top list contains 340 entities, and here are the top entities that people want to work. Number 1, P5, Democratic People Republic of Korea. Number 2, 3Y-B, Bouvet Island. Number 3, FT5/W, Crozet Island. Number 4, BS7 Hotel, Scarborough Reef. That's a very difficult one also, number 4 in the list. KH1, Baker Holland Islands. That's number 5. Charlie Echo Zero X-Ray, San Felix Island, belong to Chile. Number 7, Bravo Victor 9 Papa, Pratas Island. Number 8, Kilo Hotel 7 Kilo, Kure Island. Number 9, KH3 Johnston Island. And number 10, BK0M, Victor Kilo Zero Mike, Macquarie Islands. Those are the 4 most wanted entities for DX. At the end of the show, now the solar activity report and propagation update. 0 sunspots now, solar flux holding around 70 units, geomagnetic disturbance indicator index around 5 to 6 units. Very poor conditions on the high frequency bands prevailing at this moment, amigos, but sporadic events will certainly be happening during the next 5 to 10 days. I hope to see you all at the weekend edition of this program, DXers Unlimited, coming to you after the top of the hour news bulletin here at Radio Havana Cuba. That's Sunday and Monday UTC days.
And that's all for today. This is Arnie Coro, Radio Amateur CO2KK, your host here at Radio Havana's DXers Unlimited, saying 73 and very good DX.
DXers Unlimited with Arnie Coro, one of our most popular programs here on Radio Havana Cuba.